everybody, it's Cheryl, lead Off Leash K9 Training and Rico, and this is going to be his first official heel session. So if you're at home working with your dog during this quarantine, doing a little mini board and train at your house, or hopefully not mini, but taking a couple weeks to do it, this is what the first formal heel session will look like with me. Having said that, he's been here for about 48 hours, and every single time I've let him out of his kennel to take him outside, whether it's for a potty break or a pack walk with the other dogs, he is in a specific position next to my leg. I'm not calling it anything, I'm not saying anything to him really. Every now and then I might say good, but for the most part I'm letting the leash do the communication with that and keeping him in this position next to my leg. I don't want him to move ahead, I don't want him to get off to the side or dally behind too much or sniff the ground. So I'm going to go outside and you're going to see what this looks like. We're going to go do a quick potty break. You'll see me keeping him next to my leg. If you see my arm flick, it's because he's getting ahead, or if you see my knee bump, it's because he kind of likes to push up against me, and I don't want that either. So that's about the communication that I'm doing for him. Also, this informal training is something you should be doing with your dog. You should be doing it all the time with your dog if you're trying to train your dog to heel. He doesn't need a lot of free time with me right now. He doesn't need that at all. He's here to learn. And so the more structure I give him up front, the quicker he's going to learn, and he's going to have more weeks of practice in it with me, and therefore become more accustomed to this expectation of him. I just also want to note that I don't care what side a dog heels on. It could be right, it could be left. I think they can learn to do both. The point is I don't want them passing the leg that they're next to. I don't want them to get ahead of this leg. That's what I'm working on right now. So this is informal. This hasn't been structured anything. And today, after this video, we're going to start working on more of a structured heel and maybe even start calling it heel so he knows what that expectation is, linked up with the command heel. All right, so here we go. He's going to walk with me. Sit. So this is an interjection of thresholds. Everything we do, he's waiting and looking at me for permission. Let's go. Sit. A little pressure there for his sit. And so now we're going back into what I look for in the beginnings of a heel. Like I said, this has been informal, but I'm not letting him bust a move ahead of me. I'm keeping him by my leg. If he's not by my leg, you'll see me give a little pressure. Sit. Break. I'm going to let him have some freedom so I don't have to keep making him sit. But if he gets out of this space that's just right at my knee, you're going to see me use a backward pressure like this. He's kind of, well, he is a herding dog, so he likes to get right next to me. So the other pressure you might see me use is my knee, just to get him, I don't want him leaning on me. So this is what it looks like. I'm not going to be saying anything to you guys. Just watch my hand and my wrist. The leash will be loose unless I'm trying to communicate to him, and that is to get a little bit further back or communicate with my leg by giving him a little pressure. All right, here we go. That was pressure right there. This is different because my daughter's holding the camera, so you can see him being a little concerned about that, but he'll get into the flow here in a second. So that yawning is him working. He's working hard right now. He's not used to doing this. That's a flick to get him off my leg. You see him slow there? This is the groove. There's a little pressure. I don't want him ahead of this leg. So right there he got ahead, so I gave him a little pressure to get back. You see him stop there, but now he's leaning on me again. So this is pretty informal. Break. and then I let him go for a potty out here. This is a super informal lesson, but this is what I do every time. So this sort of sets the stage, gives a little foundation for when I actually go and really work on his heel. I'm not calling it anything. I'm using the leash to communicate with him. So once he's done his business, go potty. He might not have to go because he's already been out this morning. And if he doesn't go, we repeat the same thing going back to the house. I'll make him, good boy, I'll make him sit before he goes in, but I'm gonna do the same thing with the healing position. I'm keeping him next to this left leg. So we're gonna go back, and you can watch. If he gets ahead, you'll see me do the leash pop flick with my wrist. And if he leans on me, you'll see me do a knee. And I really want him to start paying attention to me, so that's why I'm doing this right there. See, there he goes, good. So you'll see when I get this left leg in front of me and I stop it, but put it out there, he'll stop with it. Because he's understanding that's what I want. So this has literally been maybe 50 minutes, 60 minutes total in his being here working on this. Maybe not even that much. It's been 2 pack walks that have been about 15, 20 minutes, and these potty breaks. And eventually, once I clean up his heel, make it really good with the word heel, starting it, the command heel, then I'll start to introduce an auto sit, meaning when I stop, he should sit. But right now, we're just working on heel. I'm not going to mix the two together yet. He does have a good sit, but once his heel is good, then I'll start inviting. There's a little leash there if you saw he was about to sniff. But once he's got a good heel, then I will start adding the sit. But right now, it's going to be heel. But this is just from informal work. No talking, just using leash pressure. So I'm going to have him do a sit here, because sit, he knows that's what's expected of him, and we're going to go back in. So that's the beginning of a heel. If you're doing this at home with your dog, make sure every time you go out, you are practicing this healing position. You don't have to call it anything. It's not an agility heel. They're not looking up at you. They're just staying by your leg, not getting ahead of the leg that you're moving. And from here on out, I'm going to start cleaning up this heel in a more formal session, which I will show you guys. But you should be doing this for the first few days and every time you take your dog out. They don't need a lot of free time right now. These board and trained dogs are here to learn. So I'm maximizing every moment I can when they're walking with me on a leash to use that as like proper healing position. Over time, they will get more freedom when I say break. They will definitely get more freedom, but these first few days, up to a week, they're pretty much 98% in heel with me when we're outside, because that's what they don't know, and that's such a great command. You can use it hiking, walking, running, biking, skiing, whatever you want, riding a horse, riding an ATV, which is the things this guy needs to do. He needs to learn that position. So again, this is an informal part up until now, and now we're going to get formal with it, and I'll show you that. So thanks for watching, everybody. It's Cheryl, Off Leash K9 Training, and Rico.